Hi everyone. For this article discussion, I thought I'd make a video because I've been typing a lot for other assignments, so it's been taking its toll. So for this discussion, I reviewed an article titled "Nudity à la Grecque," Greek style nudity, in 1799. The author is Darcy Grimaldo Grisby. So first, let me give you some historical and cultural context. We are in the middle of the French Revolution. The monarchy has just been taken down, and everyone is really opinionated about whether that was good or bad. And obviously, society is split between who's looking back at what just ended, the Kingdom of France, and others looking forward to revolutionary times. Um, in here, so we're basically analyzing a painting by Jacques-Louis David. You may know him from the Oath of the ARTH, 1785 painting. Um, this other painting from 1799 called The Intervention of the Sabines, we have nudes, Greek style nudes, reproposed in a different style and kind of like swapped, really. Excuse me. No, instead you have Roman soldiers and women in the same scene, but unlike in the Oath of the Orazzi, where you have like the soldiers swearing their allegiance to the family and the women sleeping on the side of the scene, kind of being inactive, not being at the center of the stage. In the intervention of the Sabines, you have soldiers fighting, but they're actually naked, which is unrealistic, and they show in the sort of classicistic nudes, the classic ideal bodies. And then you have a bunch of women, they're all dressed up, and they're trying to stop the battle, stop the scene. Especially in the middle, you have this woman, this figure, um, in her classic robes, acting as a dam almost. Um, Blocking the soldiers and also the women in the background. And she's very much at the center of the scene. She's the main protagonist. And so you can imagine what something like that could mean and would lead to different interpretations of what a male nude or a female nude may mean. At the time, David, as a painter, he had a very simple explanation and interpretation for and a story behind his own work. He would just say, "Oh, I just wanted to celebrate what the French called le beau idéal, the ideal beautiful." It didn't really have any particular political meaning, but you can imagine at the time critiques. Again, they were very opinionated, and what they would do, they would either see a nod to classicism and to an old classic French society that the revolution was trying to leave behind, or in the looking at the role of this new female character being at the center of the scene, they will see like a revolutionary, maybe feministic ideas. So they will sort of divide the audience mainly into groups. I really loved when when critics analyzed the fact the, the heroine, um, who is the protagonist, is wearing this classic robe that don't show the usual heavy decoration that the that the French bourgeoisie would have, but she's showing more flesh, more skin, so it's closer to classic, but also it's also closer to that new revolutionary France, where you're kind of leaving behind all the heavy, lavish decorations for the previous from the previous ruling class. You're kind of looking forward to a more liberal society with women having like a more important or relevant role going forward. This could just be, I don't know, the very origins of feminism probably, right? But that's very interesting. There's quite a few passages where that's highlighted. The main one is scholarship has for the most part treated the novel conjunction of naked male bodies and newly sensual female protagonists as separate issues. So they want to look at both components separately, so you can really appreciate male nudes and female nudes, or as two different stories and narratives. I think the article was interesting. I think it was effective. Now and then it kind of lost me because of the vocabulary, so I had to look up a few words here and there. But I think it doesn't have any particular loopholes. I probably want to read more about it, about any formal iconographic and iconological interpretation of this painting, because it looks like a milestone in sort of acknowledging the ideological advancement and this decisive line that people were drawing at the time between an old classic society that we're leaving behind and new revolutionary France with the directory French government that we've seen. As always, studying art history is a good chance to refresh my knowledge of history, so that's really good. Gonna be a bit bored, hopefully not too much. Thanks for watching, and speak later.